me just get baptized. Them give me 2 weeks me backslide. True, them used to me dirty life. Them say me can't survive without sex and party vibes. Been through so much, but look at me now. I'm still standing on repentance ground. Many things me overcome. So for all of the people who didn't want to see me go down, tell them this. Lord, me make me live me life. Me represent Yasharahla Christ.
This long-driven artist from the parish of Westmoreland has been doing music for many years. Now on his journey, he's taking it bigger and better. Please make welcome Raash Yasharalya. Good evening, Raash Yasharalya.
Shalom.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
So before we get into the meat, right? Please explain the name for me. Rash.
Okay, so Raash, it comes from the word Ra, the Hebrew word. So Ra, in Hebrew, it means head. So when you put Raash together, when you put Ra and Ash together, it means first man, captain, leader, or ruler.
Oh.
So Raash.
Yeah. And what language is that in?
Oh, that is Hebrew.
Yeah, because I've never heard that one before. I know of Spanish a little, but I've never heard of that one before.
Yeah, that's Hebrew. I mean, we're getting back to the roots, finding out that we are the children of Israel, and we're taking on the name, as the Bible would say. When you read in Isaiah, it tells us that when we remember who we are, we're going to take on our name.
Oh, well, that's good to know. Why music though, Rash? Why did you choose music?
Well, I wouldn't say that I choose music, I couldn't say that because I have been doing this for as long as I can remember. You understand? I have never done another job outside of music. Music has always been what provides for me. So I wouldn't say that I choose music. Music choose me, and I can tell you that all the other things that I've tried over the years has never been that comfortable like music.
Yes.
When I'm doing music, I'm in my element.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say I choose it. It chooses me.
Wow, that's beautiful to know. What would you say your first performance was like? Like, were you nervous? What would you say your first music performance was
My first performance. All right, let's see. You're talking a lot of years now, don't you? You're not just talking about 2019. You're talking about, let's see, 1995.
Yeah.
Around about September 4. I did my first major performance at the Seventh-day Adventist in Westmoreland, right there in New Road Square, where I was able to grace the stage with a group called the Royal Roots. Back then, they had a song by the name of Oh What a Love, or Got to Be Dreaming. I think that's the name of the song. So Got to Be Dreaming, I learned that song. There was a lady by the name of Nadine Smith who taught me that song.
Yeah.
So I was always singing it, and there was a concert there at the Seventh-day Adventist Church. That was where my professional music career started. So it wasn't so much of a nerve.
Yeah.
One of the things that I can remember people saying was that I wasn't looking at the audience.
Oh, your eyes were closed.
Yes. But I was able to sing, and a lot of persons didn't know that I could sing.
Oh.
So that was where my career started. So my first performance, I could say that it went well, based on the reception and based on the response from the crowd. And like I said, I didn't know what was happening in the audience because I wasn't seeing it even, and I was performing with the Royal Roots because they called me up to sing the song with them. So that's my first memorable performance.
Okay, if you remember just one of the responses that you got, let me know.
It's
let the viewers know.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny. Big head boy, I never know say you could sing.
Okay.
So that was one of the response, and there was multiple though, but that was one of the outstanding one. A friend of mine said, "Big head boy, I never know say you could sing."
Yes.
So yeah, man.
It sounds like a beautiful experience you have.
Yes, it was.
Okay, based off the spectrum, we are surrounded by crime and violence and all of that. What would you say one of your songs are that you'd use to defeat evil spirits?
Well, if you fast forward to know that I am a writer, all right?
Yeah.
I have multiple songs. I remember I'm gonna go outside of what people would know me for, the norm, right? I have a song called it's a song from Psalms 35. That song, That song, if you know Psalm 35, right?
Yeah.
Plead my cause, oh God, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
So that's one of the songs. And a lot of people, persons have been telling me when they play that song helps to, it helps to dispel the spirits. It helps to calm. So yeah, that's one of my long time song that I can remember using for that purpose.
Yeah.
Nowadays, since I've come to the truth and understand myself, know who I am, I have multiple songs that helps to higher I worship you is what I can.
I know that one.
I can tell you
one.
that song, I've been getting so many testimonies for that song,
Yes.
dealing with spirits, dealing with sickness, bringing healing, and the list goes on. So that's one of them that, that's one of the top tier songs that I would say I will use to, dispel the spirit, to calm the soul, and soothe the mind. Yeah.
So have you gotten like any testimonies based off the song?
Yeah, I've gotten. I remember one sister on Instagram. She DM'd me, as they call it, right?
Yeah.
And she was telling me that she during her pregnancy, I think she was going through a rough time.
Yeah.
With that, and she said that song, even in the hospital, was what helped to take her through those trying times. And she was saying to me, never stop.
Yeah.
You understand? I remember a person called me from the United States, a brother called me from the United States, telling me that I wouldn't know then what that song has done for them. So the testimony has been mounting, and it's encouraging. It's encouraging. Even with we have a bishop of ours from the London body that passed away, and his brother and all the London family that is going through their brief moment. They were telling me about those songs. Never stop. So yeah, that song, A Higher I Worship You.
Beautiful responses. In your song, right? I heard you mention something about, was it Israel or Israelite? Could you explain that for the viewers?
Oh, Israelites.
Yeah.
Yeah, you Israelites. So it's easy. We are the children of Israel.
Oh.
The Bible explains that. You find that in archaeological evidence. You find that in scientific evidence as well. Okay. One notable thing that I might point to, scientifically, you have two blood types. Well, you have more than two, but you have two main ones. You have the E1B1A.
Yeah.
Right? You have the E1B1B. Now, the E1B1A is our blood type.
Oh.
That represents the bloodline coming from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Oh, okay.
The other one that I mentioned, the E1B1E, those are the Hamitic bloodline. We're not from that bloodline. So that is scientifically, right? Now, biblically, which is more so important and most important, is that the Bible spoke about curses. Yeah. It spoke about a set of people who God chose, the Most High chooses for himself, right? He renamed a particular person from Yaakov or Jacob, as we are used to it, to the word Yasharahla. It's not even Israel. Oh. Israel is an English word. Yasharahla is the word. It means prince.
That's in Hebrew, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Yasharahla means Prince of the Most High, or Prince of the Most High God.
One Yasharahla, one Yasharahla, one Yasharahla.
You have a set of people that call themselves Israeli.
Oh.
So you have the Israelis and you have the Israelites. So we are the Israelites, right? I subscribe to that. That is my nationality.
All right. So you said it's Yasharahla?
Yasharahla.
Could you spell it out for the
All right. So it's Yasharahla.
Yeah.
So that's Yasharahla.
And that's Israel translated to English.
Yeah, right. So English would be the English word, the English spelling.
Israel, yeah.
So that is more powerful. When you speak anything in Hebrew, especially if it's the law or the commandments or the testimonies, it's more powerful because the angel don't have to do any translation to bring it to the Most High. See what I'm talking here?
Oh, yeah.
What I'm talking here, the Most High doesn't, even though he might know it and understand it, this don't appeal to him. But when it's spoken like Shema Yasharahla, Ahaya Alahaya Nawa, Ahaya Akkad, that is direct Hebrew.
Yeah. What did you just say a while ago?
Hero Israel, the Most High of power, the Most High God is one.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So that's some good translations of English and the Hebrew.
Right. When we speak in tongues, we translate.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So, Rash, before we go to a break, let me ask you a really personal question. As a man of God, the walk, what was it like? What has it been like leading up to this day?
Oh, well, very interesting. I mean, one of the most fulfilling thing that a person or anybody individual, and it doesn't matter who you are, is that having that understanding and that connection with the Most High.
Yes.
The walk has been challenging. It was never meant to be easy. The Bible said it wasn't going to be easy.
Yes.
When you look into the book of Sirach chapter 2, and that's my favorite chapter since I've come to this truth and this understanding.
That's nice.
Yeah, because when you read it, say when you come to the Most High, you must prepare yourself for what? Temptation.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And you must be ready to endure. So it has been very interesting. It has been challenging.
Yeah.
It has been good. It has been awesome. It has been
Wow.
wonderful. So all the adjectives that can describe
Yes.
something,
You
I mean,
describe the walk.
I have come to terms with, understanding righteousness, knowing what it is and how to live it.
No, good.
All right. Before I found the truth, it was hopeless. You understand? Because
Yeah.
it goes to the point where I remember in 2015, I had a vision where something woke me up and asked me. It said at the time, it says, Jesus, I come. Are you ready? And
Yes.
I was like, I'm in church. I woke up like, I'm in church. I'm supposed to be ready.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I found the truth in 2016, I found out that I wasn't ready.
Oh.
And, when I look through the scriptures and start to see what is required of us in order to be ready to make it into the kingdom, you understand? It is not hard, Righteousness is not hard,
Yeah.
To live for the Most High is not hard, We make it difficult for ourselves. So, my journey, my walk with the Most High, you have to be able to want nothing.
Yeah.
You understand? Brother Brands have a song where it says want nothing. And, when I look at it, in order to make it on this journey, then you have to want nothing.
I understand.
You understand? So if you see the world for what it is, and you understand that even though persons might say you are boring,
Yeah.
but being boring is not a bad thing, when it comes down to righteousness. So
Yeah, yeah.
my walk right now, even though persons might be viewing it as boring,
Yeah, yeah.
it's the best thing that I've ever done. It's one of the
So
best.
during your walk, what would you say your little entertainment would be?
Well, so it would be the feast days.
Yes.
Yeah, the feast days. I full enjoy those. The regular seventh days, Shabbat. I love that. Because when we come together with the brothers and sisters and we have a vibe, I go home feeling fulfilled.
Yeah.
So those are the things that keeps me. I remember praying, even on Shabbat, I remember praying to the Most High, saying, please, if I'm going to die, don't let me die unrighteous. You understand? I want to die as a righteous person. I want to die in righteousness. So those are the little things. The feast days, man, being around the brothers and sisters, those are the things that encourage me. Watching even the elders at times, when they come with these lessons, timely lessons and broadcast.
Yes.
It helps me to stay rooted and grounded.
Okay. So, Brother Rash, what would you say the feast days are? What are some of the feast days?
Well, the feast days are what the Bible says they are.
Oh.
All right, so, when I was in the Christian church, they have this thing called Pentecost. The church is called Pentecost.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but
I
when you
heard of that one.
right, but when you look into the book of Acts, because that's where they would derive the name from. That's where the name is derived from,
Yeah.
Pentecost. But when you go back into Leviticus chapter 23, you now get a deeper understanding what the feast days are, because when you read the Most High said, these are my feast days.
Oh, yeah.
So Leviticus 23 breaks it down what the feast days are. For those who don't know, if you want to know, just go and read Leviticus 23 and you will get an understanding. Because, all right, you have Passover,
Yes.
right? Then after Passover, you have what is called first fruit. The Christians call it Pentecost, or the Greeks call it Pentecost.
Oh, yeah,
so it's a culmination of from Passover leading up to the culmination of the feast of first fruits.
Yeah.
It's called Pentecost, right? It means 50. Now, after that, we are going into what is called trumpets. Then you have atonement. Then you have tabernacles. Now, tabernacles, I mean, it's good to be out there under tents. The Bible calls,
tents?
yeah,
You guys are under
the Bible calls it booths,
Oh,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
After that, now, it's leading up to what is called Dedication.
Interesting.
So we're going into dedication now.
Yes.
Dedication is where we rededicate our temple because we are no longer in the land, so we don't longer have the physical temple.
Okay.
What we have now, the Bible says that our bodies are the temple. When you read in First Corinthians 3 and also 6, it tells us that our bodies are the temple. So we are rededicating our temple. We want to clean ourselves up, mentally, spiritually, you understand, our conscience and whatever we may have done, we want to clean ourselves up so we can present our bodies as a living sacrifice, as Paul says it, to the Most High. Right now, finally, and this is so interesting. Now, the pagans have what is called Christmas and what is called Easter.
Yeah, we celebrate Christmas.
Right, the celebration of the winter solstice, or where it calls Christmas. Now, we have what is called a Purim. Now, that is done in February, which is officially and originally the last month of the year in the Bible is called Adar. So
Interesting.
so that is what the feast days are. The Bible states that we're supposed to celebrate them. We also celebrate the new moons as well.
Okay.
You understand? Our forefathers used to do that. So what we do, we take what the Bible says we are to do and we do them.
Okay.
You understand? As a Bible believing people.
Beautiful. Sounds like a beautiful walk.
It is.
So we're going for just a short break and we have something very interesting after. So don't move, don't go nowhere because we are on the hottest show, Street Segmentz.
Yo, play the rhythm there. Well, all praises be to the Most High, yeah. Raash Yasharalya, Street Segmentz. Yeah, hear me? Accountability.
All right.
Stay tuned for part 2 this Sunday. This is Street Segmentz. Inspire, explore, educate.